at the Licensing Expo with ArtMoose. We have another exciting interview. Today we get to meet with Pamela Dunmire. How are you doing today?
Hi, Rochelle.
Welcome to the Licensing Expo. Are you having fun so far?
Oh, exceptional fun. Yeah, it's really exciting. It's our first year here.
Well, welcome. Thank you for taking a little bit of time and stopping by to chat with us.
It's my pleasure.
know we have a little sneak peek at some of your work, but before we get to that, I just want to hear a little bit about you. How did you get your start in the art world?
Well, I've been painting probably for about 20, 25 years.
Oh, okay.
My father was a fine artist and a commercial artist. And so I learned a lot from him as a child, you know, sitting by him in his studio and watching him paint. And so I learned a lot that way. And
then did you go on from there to study, or did you just start painting and taking your art on the road, or?
Well, actually, I didn't paint for years and years. My father died when I was 15.
Okay.
And it just kind of was a real tragedy in my life. And I never went into art because as a child you always have this fantasy that you want to be like your father, but you could never be quite as good as your dad. So
well, he's your hero.
Yeah, so I never went into art until much later in my life, and when I reached my 30s. Instead, I went into actually social work.
Oh.
And got my master's in counseling and psychology, and I worked for years in child welfare and adoptions.
Wow.
And you know, that can be a pretty stressful
Yeah.
environment. And so I started having this passion that I needed to get back to painting. And so I picked painting up in my 30s again.
As an outlet.
As an outlet for my, you know, working in such a high stress field.
It's such an emotional,
right.
You know, yeah.
So it became my yin to my yang. And it was kind of, you know, I would have a really difficult day working, you know, with a lot of crises. And then I would come home and I would de-stress by painting.
Well, that is a very healthy and good distressor.
Yeah,
I'm so glad you came back to that.
Yeah, so that's how I started. And, you know, after, you know, several years of doing that, one day someone said, show me your art. And, you know, after you get past that first hump of showing your art to somebody and someone says, wow, that's really good. Then I realized that this was really my passion and that someday I would do this full time. And so I retired from child welfare work. I was working in California.
Okay.
And moved to Arizona about 10 years ago and decided at that time that I would become a professional artist.
Professional full-time artist.
That's right.
Well,
and
congratulations
that's kind of how that evolved.
Living your passion. That is a very good thing to be able to say you do. And so you traveled from Arizona for the show?
I did.
Okay.
Yes. We live in Prescott, Arizona, up in the mountains. I don't know if you've ever been there, but
no, I haven't.
Beautiful.
Are you used to the heat, though, of Las Vegas that we're having?
Yeah, because you know, you go down into the valley and it's just as hot in Phoenix as it is here.
Well, I definitely want to take a look at some of your work. What's your favorite medium to work in?
Acrylic.
Acrylic. So that's these images that we're going to be looking at now are going to be acrylic paintings.
I used to work in watercolor when I first started, which I heard after I started that it was the hardest medium there is.
So you start with the hard.
So I started with the hard, and after I figured I could do that, then this was just a piece of cake for me to move into acrylics. And I started out as a realistic painter.
But these are a little bit more...
These are a little more abstract and a little more loose, and...
The colors!
They became that way. My colors have changed a lot over the years.
Okay.
About, well, in 2011 I came down with colon cancer.
Oh.
And so I'm a colon cancer survivor, and that really changed my life. That made me feel so joyous and made me realize that life was so precious, and my color palette changed. It just popped, it just blossomed. It became this bright, beautiful, you know, lovely, dark, warm, beautiful, wonderful colors.
When you have a life-changing experience like that, you can't, your art comes from you.
Absolutely, and so it changed overnight. So I became this really I used to use much softer metallics and, you know, more muted colors. And then after I survived my cancer, it was like,
I'm here to stay.
I am.
Look at
So
this.
here goes the colors. So,
I love it. And
so it started. And this one is kind of fun. I did a whole balloon series a year ago, last October. We went to the Balloon Fiesta in Albuquerque.
okay.
And I must have taken 100, 200 pictures. You know, we went down on the field, all the ascension
Thank goodness
and all
for
that
digital,
stuff.
right?
Oh my God, it was so, well, for an artist, all those colorful balloons and stuff in the blue sky of Albuquerque, it was just incredible. So I took a massive amount of pictures. And I was asked to do a show in January at a art gallery in Prescott. And the art director there asked me what I would be bringing in. And I hadn't really thought about it. And I said, I'm just dying to do a balloon series. And he says, yeah, do a balloon series. So
And this was birthed out of that.
Yeah, this was birthed out of that.
Yeah.
And the fun thing about this series is that it tells a life story, because I have a lot of humor in it. And I do these wonderful pictures of some of the balloons are ascending. They're joyful and happy, and well, you know, the excitement of life as you're moving up the, you know, the ladder. And then some of the balloons are crashing
Okay, so the story.
and dumping out, and you're falling out of the balloons.
Okay.
And some of the balloons, you know, figures are hanging from them.
Okay.
With a little help from their friends, you know. So it's kind of a story of the ups and downs of life that I produced in about 12 paintings for this show.
And we have one last little photo of you in your, is that your studio, in your home?
Yes, and with my grandson Sterling.
Best helper.
Yes, he's about 2.5 there. He's a Christmas baby, born Christmas Day. And he was helping Grandma in the studio. We were having a photo shoot, actually. My son was taking the pictures, and my son says, "Get on the floor, Mom." And then he just started throwing my paintings all around me, and Sterling had to get into it, you know. So Sterling was throwing paintings all around me, and they just turned out so darn cute.
So great.
I want to tell you about an upcoming musical that's playing right now. In fact, opening night is Thursday night, and I did the stage sets for it.
So not only do you do the acrylic paintings, you do
large scale stage
backdrops
sets.
and sets.
And I've done several sets in the last 3 years. I've done 7 actually stage sets.
Well, thank you. That is neat as well. So many, many giftings and talents. Thank you so much for stopping by. Enjoy the rest of the Licensing Expo.
Thank you.
And this has been Roshelle Baier with ArtMoose.